From our studios at historic Arnold's Park Amusement Park, it's Okoboji Broadcast with Jeff Thee. Welcome to Okoboji Broadcast, everybody. I'm Jeff Thee, coming to you from right on Highway 86 on the west side of the Iowa Great Lakes, Treasure Village. Garth Neisess and Linnea Lambert are here with us today. And I thought, you know, guys, we're coming off on Memorial Day weekend, and the flea market here at Treasure Village is a staple. You know, every Memorial Day, 4th of July, Labor Day too, I believe.
Right.
So, wanted to start out talking about that because here we go. And I know it's a little cool here today and a little bit rainy, but the forecast for the weekend,
it's going to get a lot nicer and the rain's going to go away. That's right. What they're promising us.
And it's okay to get it on a Thursday. We always say if it wants to rain on Monday night after a big weekend in Okoboji,
settles the dust.
Settles the dust down.
Well, let me take you way back. Treasure Village started in 1973 when we built 18 holes of mini golf and we started the theater with melodrama. And then I had Frank Hastings from Milford that talked to me about, why don't you build me a shop out there at Treasure Village and I'll fix up my copper boilers and all the fun things that he used to sell on Highway 71 in Milford. So we did that, and then Frank said a couple years later, you know, we should do a flea market. So this was the late 70s, I'm not sure exactly just which year.
Right.
But Frank rounded up a bunch of vendors and we started out. So we do the Memorial Day, the 4th of July weekend, Labor Day, like you said.
Yeah.
And it's just growing. We have about 80 spaces. We usually wind up with somewhere around 50 to 60 vendors, depending on how many take more than 20 feet, because some of them take 70 or 80 feet.
Right, yeah, the bigger ones. And
bigger ones.
Now, last year, were you able to accommodate as many, or?
You know, we decided in about April that we would not have the May flea market.
Right.
And then as things got a little better, we decided to go ahead with July, and we had maybe about half of our usual vendors and half of the audience, but the people bought very well.
Yeah.
So the vendors were happy, and then it continued to improve, more vendors in September, and now this year we're back to our normal number of vendors and good concession.
And isn't that wonderful? It doesn't it feel good that we've turned a corner on this whole thing, you know, and
people can come in the miniature golf course and get ice cream, get their miniature golf clubs, and balls and things this year, whereas last year we did it through the window out of our patio just to be a little safer.
Yep, absolutely. And Linnea, who's your daughter, by the way, was telling me a little bit of backstory. When I was looking, I was looking at you on Facebook, just so you know.
Okay. I like stalkers.
But I didn't know, number one, you were guidance counselor at Okoboji High School for 31 years, and then Linnea tells me of your science background, and she said, and that all ties in to what we see behind us with your knowledge of angles and physics and geometry.
Geometry was one of my favorite subjects. Well, just a brief history in that. Yes, I was a math major, physics and accounting minor at the University of Sioux Falls. And as I went on to grad school, I was going to teach and have an assistantship, actually, that I was awarded 1 of 5 there at Vermilion. And about Thanksgiving time, I said, I'm not happy with what I'm doing. And so I started talking to the guidance and counseling department, and I switched over at semester time then, and my master's is in high school guidance and counseling. I taught 1 year of junior high math in Sioux Falls, and then came to Milford in 1967.
Wow.
And that was, they did not have a counselor. Bud Kyle was the principal, and we developed the program together, and later we added a middle school counselor and a high school counselor.
Yeah.
So very happy.
So he was the first one.
31 years involved in education at Okoboji.
Wow. Yeah, and it's so cool that you were able to do that and build this and get all this going, from the theater to the golf and the flea market. That's quite a, you know, it's given something for you to do. I mean, you know, following retiring from teaching.
That free time, you know, that you have in the summer that they always say. Well, there wasn't much free time, but we did travel. We tented, and then later a tent trailer, and we sketched ideas of miniature golf holes, and so we wound up building a lot of those with some friends, the Kelling boys from Milford and others that helped us a lot with that. And the theater, we did melodrama for about 6-7 years, and then we decided the morning children's theater was the way to go. Easier to put together and a greater appeal by the audiences.
Well, yeah, we see so many families. I mean, that's the history of the Iowa Great Lakes. Families making memories and families
and
being
Linnea
raised here.
And Deborah, Linnea does the tech work, and Deborah does the costuming, sewing. So they're a good team working together. And we're turning more and more parts of it over to them. And we hope next year to be back with theater. And
well, good. And that was my next question, Garth, was I know you decided this year, so we will see the Children's Theater returning next year, Linnea.
We hope so. We don't know yet at this time. So we haven't made anything definitive. We just really felt that last year we had opened and we had followed all the guidelines, but we just really didn't have audiences coming inside.
Yeah.
And the theater's expensive to run.
Yeah. Yes. Well, absolutely.
And because we also pay our actors, we've always felt that that's really important.
Yeah.
And then to have sets and costumes and all of that takes a lot.
Yeah.
But we have our shows at home. So people can stream us at home if they're missing Treasure Village shows.
Yeah.
We've got 3 shows that are available online that people can rent or purchase and own forever.
Okay. So where do we find those then?
On our website, treasurevillage.org /shows at home.
Okay.
And if you go to that, or just once you get to treasurevillage.org, it will help guide you around there. But it shows a little bit about all the shows, and we filmed all of them last year when we had our talented staff. So they're fantastic shows. It's just like you're there watching it in the theater, but way closer.
yeah, way closer. Best seat in the house, right there. Yeah. When you were growing up, Linnea, I mean, with this going on around you, I mean, that's kind of a special upbringing. You know, other kids were going out there at Dairy Queen, they're working, you know, whatever in the area. You were here, and
I always had a summer job.
You never had to look. You never had to interview.
No, I never had to interview. I luckily was always hired. It was a really fun experience. When I was really little, there was a mini donut stand, so I could not wait for flea markets, so I could go run to the mini donut stand, and then they would always give me a little extra cinnamon sugar in the bag. And I remember when they retired, we were all crying and so sad.
I'd have been crying,
But I grew up with them, and then when we moved back here, my kids got to know them.
Yeah.
So even my kids had Marty and Rich giving them donuts. And so that was really fun to see that progression and be able to experience that. And my kids are involved in all this too.
Yep. So see what you started.
I know.
Carter and Madison are going to work a lot at the miniature golf this year, with a little help from a few others. But we're kind of family back to that, the way we started. When those first years, this right over here was a 9x9 building that I ran the mini golf, and I had ice cream novelties out of. And there was no bathroom. There was a porta potty up behind the theater. So then a couple years later, we moved this building in and established the restrooms and got rid of that 9x9 building and built the carpet ball tables that everybody seems to love to play.
Yeah, did that wonderful. I mean, what a fun thing to hand down to your children, your grandchildren, and to be such a staple in the Okoboji area as well. I mean, that's pretty special. That's a great legacy.
It is.
You know, we have a great group of advertisers that have been with us with our color brochure, 8 of them, and we didn't do that this year. And the theater program, I have about 45 advertisers that are supporting family entertainment in the Lakes area, and bless them for helping us with that. And so that's what I'd love to go around and talk to those people again, and they all say, well, it must be spring, Garth's back.
That local support, you're speaking to the heart here. I hear that as well. Now, Linnea was telling me a very special story, and I didn't know you were a teacher, for crying out loud. How would I know this? But that in August of 1963, you were in Washington, D.C., and someone said to you, Garth, I think Dr. King is speaking. We should go listen to him.
Yeah.
Here you were able to, along the reflecting pool, hear him give that famous I Have a Dream speech.
One of my roommates said we should go help with the first aid tent. So we did that, signed up for it. We were right beside the Lincoln Monument, and the TV was in there, and we were listening to the different speakers, and then Dr. King came on, and my friend Bernie and I said, we should slip around the bushes here, and so at the foot of the steps, we heard him give probably the last 2/3 of his I Have a Dream speech.
Oh my goodness.
Isn't that amazing?
I mean, it's something to witness history, but something that is so iconic in history. I mean, that is, like I said, Linnea, one of the most famous speeches of the entire civil rights movement, to be on hand that day at that time. And like we were saying, you know, what was there, 100,000 people maybe there, whatever that day. When you look at the percentage of the American population, you saw something very few did at television, and now History Channel and so forth.
And then we marched from there up to the Washington Monument. And there was no problem, there was no violence, there was just a great feeling of supporting all races together.
Yeah.
Oh, what a...
As a history teacher, I love telling that story.
Oh yeah, I would too. It gives me chills to think about it, Garth, that you were there. So, well, anyway, I don't know how I'm making this transition, but back to the flea market. So what are the hours this weekend?
We're going to be 9 a.m. opening for vendors until 5 p.m.
Okay.
And then Sunday, some of them wrap it up at 4 p.m. if they have ways to go travel to get
On Monday.
home.
Monday they wrap up.
Okay,
Yes.
Monday. Yeah, so 9 until 5
Okay.
most of the days.
Very good. And lots of vendors, lots of treasures to be found right here. Treasure
Wonderful
Village.
food wagon that we'll have here.
It's a brand, well, we had them last year, but they have bought a new trailer, Addie Root Concessions. But what's neat about them is they give a lot of their proceeds to a local animal rescue. So you're not only purchasing food, but you're helping an animal rescue, which I love that.
That's very special indeed.
Jason and his family do a good job, and they have a wide variety. There's about 15 items on their menu. So come out and enjoy. We have 7 picnic tables outside.
Yeah.
Enjoy the view and play around the mini golf. We're the only 27-hole course in the Iowa Great Lakes or anywhere around that I know.
That's right. And the angles have all been specifically done.
Geometrically perfect.
Every hole we test and make sure that one of us can get a hole-in-one.
And we have a new one this year with the
do.
roll your boat. Tell them about that. Noble.
The No Boundaries program in our area. We worked with them these past years. We started during the previous year, and then it kind of got halted during COVID.
Yeah.
So we started the project again this fall. And so we have a new hole out there, row your boat. And then they helped get a rowboat, and they designed it, and they sandblasted and re-welded it, and
Maybe you see it, that yellow boat.
it's kind of a little yellow boat right out there. It's got fun little waves that they design, and then they helped create the angle so that you can hit it to get the hole in one, because it doesn't have a straight shot, so you have to hit by an angle.
You know, and carpet wears out. So this year we redid 6 of the holes.
Okay.
So what we do is we pull the carpet off, and then we take that up in the theater. We have a large roll. We used a 60-foot roll, and we turn it upside down, and we can cut that out. And Dennis Clark helps me on that. And so then we pull that down, and we got the kids gluing, and Rachel and Carter and others were helping, learning how to put the glue down.
Yep, you're laying the foundation for the future
Teaching
here.
family skills.
Everybody's teaching the skills that keep this going well.
And there's lots of families doing businesses out here at the flea market.
Okay.
So, you know, we're a family business, but there's a lot of home-based family businesses that are here at the flea market. I think I counted 19 when I was putting together
I saw that,
from jewelry, different things, and Norwex and 31 and Pampered Chef and all of these types of home-based businesses.
And Haley Barber has her home-baked goods, and we have beef
Delicious.
jerky, we have kettle corn. What am I missing?
I'm trying to think here. It's the wine people.
Wine people.
We have a whole building of barbecue sauces and hot sauces. There's a whole building.
Well, you hooked me right there.
Quilted items. There's another gentleman who does wonderful hand-carved wooden toys and birdhouses and things like that.
They'll be set up over there by our garage, and then along the patio we have 5 vendors outside here, and then 2 vendors inside. One with quilts that she mentioned, another one with jewelry. So
there
we're excited
is such a variety, from antiques and tools and sports cards to clothing, and then all these home-based businesses, and it's really a wide variety.
It is, and it's a great way to spend time and bring your family. I mean, because like you say, you can do some fun shopping, support local families, do a little golf, get some old-fashioned ice cream.
Golf, eat. What more can you ask for?
One guy's coming from Ozark, Missouri.
Oh my goodness!
He's got wooden things and canes and stuff. So
wow,
it's always exciting to have people willing to come that far away.
Yep, and you know what? I'm excited to see people coming back this year.
Yes.
Yeah,
It is.
and I'm excited if they'll shake my hand, I'll shake their hand.
You betcha.
They can get a hug too. You never know. So, all right, my
Jeff,
friends.
thank you so much for coming out
it's
and
a
visiting
pleasure.
with us.
Oh,
Always good to talk to you.
hey, you gave me chills when I started learning more about you. So I appreciate both of you doing this with me today.
Thank you.
Thank
All
you.
right, Treasure Village, don't forget about it this weekend, our big Memorial Day weekend coming to the Iowa Great Lakes. We want to thank Garth and Linnea.
Tongue twister.
Oh, yeah, that's tough to put together. We want to thank them for joining us. We thank you for watching us right here on Okoboji Broadcast. Okoboji Broadcast from the studios at historic Arnold's Park Amusement Park is brought to you by the Scott Troutman State Farm Agency in Spirit Lake, Pure Fishing in Spirit Lake, Last Touch Painting and Cleaning providing interior, exterior, house painting and professional cleaning services in Spirit Lake, Quest Wealth Management, a financial advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services, advisor Jan Spielman, AJ Spielman, and Erica Wachholz. Ducky's Marine and Motorsports Repair in Spirit Lake. Bank Midwest, dream big, plan wisely, live well. Lakes Regional Healthcare and Avera Partner. Ruthven Locker at the Lake, where carnivores are welcome on Hill Avenue in Spirit Lake. Beck Engineering in Spirit Lake. Be Radiant Laser Skin Studio in the Okoboji Plaza in Okoboji.